Hi everyone, I am Shahan Laik. Welcome back to my channel, and today we will learn about a very important topic in biochemistry, and that is, you know it already, that is lipoprotein. So what is lipoprotein? What is lipoprotein? So basically lipoprotein is a protein which has a lipid part in it, and that is why it is known as lipoprotein. Lipo means the lipid part, lipo means the lipid part, and protein is the main protein. Okay, the main component is protein and it has some lipid part. Now lipoprotein can be produced by three important parts. Like lipoprotein is produced by intestine. It can be produced by liver, and it can be produced by both intestine and liver. So three important thing is this: lipoprotein is produced by intestine, lipoprotein is produced by liver, and intestine and liver both. Intestine produces chylomicron. Intestine produces chylomicron. What does liver produce? Liver produce VLDL, very low density lipoprotein, VLDL. So intestine produce chylomicron, liver produce VLDL, very low density lipoprotein. From where? From this LDL is produced. From VLDL, LDL is produced. And liver and intestine together, they both work together and produce HDL. Now do you know HDL? HDL is the good cholesterol. HDL is the very good boy. Okay, very good guy. So good cholesterol, HDL. And LDL, this black color I have written in black, the LDL, that is the bad guy. LDL is the bad. So bad cholesterol is the LDL. So LDL, low density lipoprotein, is the bad guy, bad cholesterol. That when the bad cholesterol comes inside the circulatory system, it produces atherosclerosis and all these things, is the bad guy, LDL. And HDL is the good cholesterol. So it is not responsible for any disease. Basically it helps in draining cholesterol, elimination of cholesterol. HDL helps in the elimination of cholesterol from our body. So that is why HDL is known as good cholesterol and LDL is known as bad cholesterol, because it has the tendency to jam our blood vessels and produce the atherosclerosis. So LDL is bad cholesterol. So now it is clear. First point is production. So is it clear to you about lipoprotein? Lipoprotein is produced by these three things. One is intestine, that produce chylomicron, liver, that produce VLDL, that eventually produce LDL, and liver and intestine both work together to produce HDL, the good cholesterol. So I think it is clear to you. Now let me erase this and come to the next part of this video. In next part, I will be sharing important points that may come in your exam for the biochemistry. Like chylomicron, let me write it out, the three important thing. One is chylo means chylomicron, okay? Just I am writing in short, chylo. Another is VLDL, very low density lipoprotein which produce LDL, and the last one was HDL. Do you remember? So all these we have chylomicron, we have VLDL, we have LDL, and we have HDL. Now, as the name chylomicron is very big, So the largest, the biggest is the chylomicron. The largest is the chylomicron. So this comes in question. Chylomicron is the largest. Now if we consider density wise, then chylomicron has very low density. So in density wise, chylomicron has low density. So which has the high density? Which has the high density? High density is HDl. HDl has highest density. So the highest density is HDl. So density increases in this manner. So the lowest density is chylomicron and the highest density is HDl. Can you understand? The highest density is HDl and the lowest density is chylomicron. So this is another question. Now let me say other facts about chylomicron, HDl, LDL and all these things. Now let us come into the function part. Okay, the function. So what is the function of chylomicron? Chylomicron actually carries the triacylglycerol TAG molecules to the tissue. So what does VLDL do? VLDL also do the same thing, but they carry the endogenous. They carries the endogenous tag. Endogenous tag. Tag means actually triacylglycerol. Let me change the color, okay? Or you can understand. I think you can understand. First is the chylomicron. The function is it brings the tag triacylglycerol to the tissue. In the same way, VLDL also does the same thing. It brings the endogenous tag to the tissue. It brings endogenous tag to tissue. Next, what about LDL? LDL and HDL, they both act on cholesterol. LDL, the bad guy, it brings cholesterol to peripheral tissue. To peripheral tissue. Okay, LDL brings cholesterol to peripheral tissue. And what does HDL does? What does HDL does? It brings cholesterol to liver for elimination. It brings cholesterol to liver for the process of elimination. Okay, for elimination. Okay, now once again let me revise the function. For chylomicron, the function is it brings the triacylglycerol to the tissue. What is the function of VLDL? VLDL brings endogenous triacylglycerol to the tissue. LDL and HDL both act on cholesterol. LDL brings all the cholesterol to the peripheral tissue. So that is bad. It brings the cholesterol to the peripheral tissue and it produces all these atherosclerosis and all this because it jams the blood vessels. And HDL, they are good cholesterol, so they brings the cholesterol to the liver for the elimination. Now let us discuss other things, other important points for these lipoproteins. Before that, let me erase all this part. Have patience. Now for chylomicron, we have the apoproteins. What are the apoproteins for chylomicron? We have A. We don't have B. Just remember, for the chylomicron, we don't have D. We don't have D. So we have A1, we have A2, we have A4, we have B48, we have C, 1, 2, 3, and we have E. So all these are for chilo. Remember all this. I have drawn a mark of separation between chilos. So chylomicron has all these apo. Remember, chylomicron has apo A, B, C, E, but not D. Apo A 1, 2, 4, B 48, C 1, 2, 3, and E, but not D. D is absent in chylomicron. Always remember this. And what about VLDL and LDL? So let us discuss about these two guys, VLDL and LDL. But before discussing, let me erase this chylomicron part, okay, so that it will be easy for me to discuss. So VLDL and LDL, these two guys, okay. Now LDL is a lonely guy. He's a bad guy. He always likes to stay lonely. So LDL has only B 100, and VLDL has B100 and B100 and C123. Can you remember now? So we have discussed VLDL and LDL together. For LDL, we have B100, only B that is present in LDL is B100, and VLDL has B and C, that is B100 and C123. Okay, now we have discussed chylomicron, where we have discussed chylomicron, VLDL and LDL. Now let us discuss about HDL. In HDL, always remember we don't have B. So which was not there in chylomicron? In chylomicron we don't have D. And in HDL we don't have B. In HDL we don't have B. So these are all these MCQ point, okay? You can remember. But one thing we have in HDL is D. So only time we are having D is in HDL. Only time we are having D is HDL. We can remember this D from this HDL, that HDL has a D, but HDL don't have B. You can remember this like this formula. So HDL have, what are the apo? So HDL has apo A 1, 2, 4. So 1, 2, 4 apo. Next, HDL will don't have B, so no question of B. Then HDL will have C. So let me write C. 1, 2, 3. HDL will have D. I told you the formula, HDL will have D. So HDL will have D, and HDL will also have E. So all these you have learned. Okay. Now, which is known as alpha lipoprotein and which is known as beta lipoprotein? We will learn about this. But before learning, let me erase all this. Which is alpha lipoprotein and which is beta lipoprotein? So we have lipoproteins. Alpha and beta. We have two types of lipoprotein. Which one is alpha lipoprotein and which one is beta lipoprotein? Remember, the good lipoprotein is alpha. We always want good to be there. and alpha is the starting, so we always want good to start. So alpha is the starting, alpha is the good, so alpha HDL, and beta is the beta is the low density lipoprotein, so beta is the bad guy. So alpha and beta, alpha is the HDL, beta is the LDL. You can remember these things. Thank you so much for watching this video, and if you find this video useful, please make a thumbs up and subscribe our channel for getting more videos like this. Bye bye.